Hey everyone, I've seen a lot of different versions, lots of different beliefs to the question of what killed Stargate, but much of the hate loves to go to SGU. However, this may not be the whole truth. First, I'm going to go over some purely objective events that led to its death that many might have not considered. Then I'll throw in my personal opinion of things that might have contributed towards the end. We'll start with a pretty huge one, scheduling. Stargate Universe featured a huge overarching plot, propelled by its individual characters' own development. But think about other shows of similar structure, like 24 for instance. Imagine if a show like that was split up into mid-seasons and aired year-round. It wouldn't work, yet that's exactly what sci-fi attempted to do. It gave a feeling that nothing was happening, more on that in a second. Speaking of sci-fi, they may have had the biggest impact in SGU's downfall. Stargate usually stayed away from fall TV, airing in the summer, then in the winter. That changed towards the end of Stargate Atlantis, and it's all SGU ever knew. Additionally, it wasn't aired on the usual Fridays, but was instead put on Tuesdays and Mondays. One of the biggest things I've heard from a casual viewer is that they'd watch SG1, then Atlantis right after, so whatever else was on during the Sci-Fi Friday. With the scheduling spread so thin, it was no wonder why the viewership was so low for Universe. Now, this all doesn't matter if the show is complete trash. Many people, of course, didn't like the darker tone the show took, the backstabbing that happened every 5 minutes, the general anti-fun ship that Destiny was, and that every episode will fix the thing structure. This, of course, was a little true, but it was important for the arc that the writers had set up. SGU was about how a group of people who did not in any way want to be near each other, yet learned to resolve their differences and work together and even become a family. Sci-Fi had basically greenlit 2 seasons from the very beginning, so the writers utilized 40 episodes of time to expand and flesh out this arc. So while the first half of the season 1 was a dull grind filled with hate and communication stone scenes, it took a turn after the mid-season, and by season 2, the characters had become comfortable enough to allow for the humor Stargate fans know of. It is one of the most rewarding arcs to see, and well ahead of its time. Heading into the subjective area, Destiny took too long for its purpose to be revealed. This may have left behind many people early on, and it was a loss that never recovered from, no matter how epic it became in Season 2. Season 2 was honestly a good time, and a feel-good show on par with SG1 and Atlantis. And while SG1 dealt with other planets' beliefs, SGU dared to question the human concept of God. It also had constantly evolving characters that visibly carried the result of the previous episode, whether it was a positive or a negative emotional impact. I honestly feel that if Stargate Universe was released in the past couple years instead of almost a decade ago, it would have been accepted more widely than it did in 2009. So while the show did take its time, it's a hard argument to say that SGU killed Stargate. Looking at everything that happened, it's especially hard to overlook the mistakes made from all positions that led to Stargate's cancellation. What do you think? Do you agree with me, or am I just completely wrong? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.